Imagine a typical suburban neighborhood. In Frederick, Colorado, Chris Watts lived here as a physically fit husband and father who projected an image of a devoted family man to his community and social media followers. On the morning of August 13, 2018, that image collapsed. A frantic 911 call from a concerned friend brought police to the home, reporting that Chris's pregnant wife, Shanann, and their 2 young daughters had vanished. Chris appeared on national television shortly after, playing the role of a desperate husband. He stood on his porch and pleaded for his family's safe return, looking directly into the news cameras. Investigators recognized a profound behavioral dissonance in his performance. While a person in genuine distress typically exhibits erratic movement and a high vocal pitch, Watts remained still. His posture was controlled, and his vocal rhythm was unnervingly steady. This interview shifted his status from a grieving victim to the prime suspect. Police pivoted their strategy toward a targeted psychological profile, treating the case as a hunt for a perpetrator rather than a search for a missing person. Digital forensics quickly moved past the wholesome social media posts. Investigators found evidence of a crumbling marriage and a secret affair with a coworker, revealing a toxic buildup of resentment that never appeared on his public profiles. The data suggested a man seeking an absolute exit strategy. Instead of pursuing a divorce, Watts focused on a clean slate, a complete erasure of his current life to start over without the responsibilities of his family. Police leveraged this arrogance by inviting him to take a polygraph test. They suspected that Watts' belief in his own intellectual control would lead him to consent, thinking he could successfully lie to investigators. Inside the room, Chris relied on biological control. He attempted to regulate his breathing and heart rate to beat the sensors, a tactic commonly used by subjects who believe they can outmaneuver the machine's biological baseline. This polygraph machine captured his failure in real time. His physiological markers deviated so far from his baseline that results indicated clear deception. The examiner confronted him, pointing to the erratic ink patterns, stating directly, "The data showed complete deception." Law enforcement uses the polygraph as a psychological wedge. By showing a suspect that their lies have been scientifically documented, they shatter the suspect's confidence before the formal interrogation begins. Post-polygraph, Watts was cornered. His calm demeanor was gone, yet he still refused to provide a full confession to the detectives. To break the stalemate, police introduced a strategic psychological lever. They left the room and brought Watts' father in to sit with him, fundamentally changing the social dynamic of the room. This shift lowered his guard. In a low whisper to his father, Chris offered a partial confession, admitting to a crime but attempting to shift the blame for the girls' deaths onto his wife. Detectives immediately re-entered to shut down this narrative. They refused to let him maintain a version of the story where he was a secondary victim. Armed with the admission that he killed his wife, investigators applied focused pressure. They narrowed the interrogation down to one question: where are the girls? Substituting a hostile interrogator with a family member is a calculated tactical maneuver. It creates a psychological opening that standard questioning often cannot reach, eventually forcing the truth to the surface. The facade finally collapsed, and Chris provided the location. Police traveled to an isolated oil field where they discovered the grim reality of how he had disposed of his family. The overwhelming evidence led to a guilty plea. Chris Watts was sentenced to multiple consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. This case stands as a warning about the reality of family annihilation. It demonstrates how absolute darkness can exist behind a normal suburban smile. While a sociopathic mask can fool a community, it cannot withstand the combined pressure of behavioral profiling, forensic science, and a calculated interrogation.